Hey guys, this is Chetan,
This is Shiv.
This is Arun.
This is Aminder.
And this is Abby.
and welcome back to the Unprofessionals. So the other day we watched Team USA lose another game to France, to the likes of Evan Fournier, Nicholas Batum, and Rudy Gobert, and everyone's just wondering what the hell is going on with Team USA. They've lost three of the last four games that really mattered, two of them being in the FIBA World Cup, and now they just lost a game that they normally don't lose. So they've lost against both Nigeria and France recently, and this is I think the first time it since what 2004 or was it 2008 that they've been losing preliminary games. So if you think about it, 2008 we saw the Redeem team come back and just absolutely demolish the competition. 2012 won the gold again. 2016 won the gold again, and we're just not used to them losing. But what we're seeing now is we don't recognize this Team USA. They're complaining about fouls that they're not getting, wish they would get in the NBA, which personally I enjoy because let's be honest, they get all these ticky-tack fouls in the NBA, and Europe's just like, yo, just play it out, right? So like I enjoy seeing that. It's just you have such an accumulation of talent from the NBA. You're talking about Kevin Durant, who keeps talking about himself as the second best player, if not the best player in the league, and he doesn't look like it. And when it comes to playing a set offense, they just don't look like they can play a set offense because they're running a San Antonio concept offense down in Team USA because they hadn't had enough time for training camp because the layaway between the playoffs and the Olympics was so short. So there's just a whole bunch of things that they're complaining about. And now we're looking at is, I think right now, Australia is ranked number one in the world for basketball. And France is ranked number 5. You're just seeing that the disparity between talents between the world and the US is smaller than it used to be. Aminder, what are your thoughts on Team USA basketball right now?
My thoughts on the Team USA playing bad. Like, there's like multiple reasons as to why they're doing bad. Some of them, like you mentioned, be like coming straight from the NBA playoff schedules and like the health protocols. And I also read an article where they're talking about like how the the basketball sizes is different, but just a different brand, and so that some players are saying like that affects their dribble, their shooting, and their passing game. Even Drew Holiday, he just got back from the NBA Finals. He just won, and he's like, we just need to get the ball in the basket. Even though he's like, it doesn't matter what kind of basketball it is. He's like, it's just plain and simple. That's pretty much it. But as to everything else you said, I agree with you. How about you, Arun?
Um, Honestly, this team is obviously we know that the best players are not on this team. We're used to the best players being on the Olympic team, and this year I think it's just a lack of experience. The only people that have had appearances before are KD and Draymond. That's it. The rest of these guys are they're rookies basically in the sense of the Olympics. Um, you got players like, okay, I'm not trying to offend any of these players. They're great. They're NBA athletes, but some of these players just do not belong on the Olympic list. I love JaVale McGee. I hold him dear to my heart. He is a ex-Laker. He won us a championship, but he should not be in the Olympics. Okay. There's a few players. Jeremy Grant, great player, but I'm pretty sure there's players out there that, you know, that could overtake what Jeremy Grant does. But all I'm saying is that the best players are not out there, and also I think the talent around the world, football, sports like football are a just a national game. Sports like soccer, basketball are a international game, meaning it's played all over the world. And basketball is becoming a international sport. It's becoming more popular and popular by the years, and we're seeing a lot of talent coming out from all these international teams. For example, the last 3 MVPs, all European players: Jokic and Giannis, the last two MVPs of the NBA. So we're seeing a transition of talent outside of the USA. So I mean, as a basketball fan, you should be happy because we're seeing more talent come into the NBA from other countries, but also as we live in the US, we want the US to win a gold medal in basketball because basketball is our favorite sport. That's what we're talking about here today. And this team just looks super lackluster. And quite frankly, I don't think they have what it takes to get it done because there's players out here like Nicholas Batum and Rudy Gobert who are looking like Hall of Famers, MVPs, and Team USA just looks out here. They just look lost. Guys, who's next? Shiv?
Here's my question: Are we making too many excuses for Team USA though?
Hold on. I want to get in this.
Go ahead.
I disagree completely with something Chetan said. The talent level is catching up. That is complete
You don't think?
nonsense.
You don't
That is
think?
complete nonsense. Because let me get this is my biggest takeaway from all this shit is expose the hoes that are the NBA. This is completely exposing the rules and the play styles. If this doesn't send it, I hope to God that USA loses every single game in this thing because this is a global platform. This will show everyone that this bullshit that Trae Young be doing, that James Harden be doing, that Luka be doing, that Joker be doing, all these players be doing with these foul calls. Dame Lillard complaining, Kevin Durant complaining, Jason Tatum complaining, Bradley Beal when he was in Team USA before he got COVID complaining, Zach LaVine, all this stuff that was going on. It exposes everything. In Europe, people look at European players as players that are soft. Well, guess what? Their rules are actually more difficult compared to what we deal with in the NBA. Me, Shivam, Chetan, Arun, Aminda, we've all said it as NBA fans. All this is what this league has become is a joke in terms of foul calls and just chucking up threes. There is, besides the Golden State Warriors from 3 years ago, we did not see the ball movement. And they had the ball movement because they had freaking Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala, Draymond Green. They had Hall of Famers galore. So let's take that out the way. We're seeing ISO ball in the NBA. We're seeing bullshit fouls every single quarter. And we're seeing just chucking up threes. I do not agree at all with the point that Chetan said about the talent because the talent is not even close. We have 8 NBA, not players. These dudes in the foreign teams got NBA players. Nicholas Batum is 36 or whatever, playing on a veteran minimum deal. Rudy Gobert can only get rebounds and block shots. Who's the other guy? Evan Fournier? Oh my God, I'm a Magic fan, man. I know what Evan Fournier is. Evan Fournier is a good, solid 5th option on a really good team. Bruh, you got Kevin Durant. You got Dame Lillard. You got Tatum. These are all NBA players. Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers. You got Zach LaVine. You got Bam Adebayo. Who am I? Keldon Johnson. You got all these players. I don't want to hear about talent.
All these names, and they just still don't have a real leader. What do you guys think?
That's a separate. Yeah, that's another issue. Yeah, they don't have a leader. But I think the biggest takeaway before I give it to Shalom is that this is exposing the NBA, not the talent, because there is no reason with you having Kevin freaking Durant and Dame Lillard. That's all you need. Those 2 players. You could have 5 G League players out there with this team. You should win every game by double digits. Shivam, take it away.
All of you guys made solid points. Abby, the point you brought up was very factual. The NBA is getting exposed with the way they play basketball. It used to be such a fundamental sport, and it's changed drastically in the last couple of years. But I also don't think Shaitan's point was that off. The rest of the world is catching up. Like Arun said, the 2 of the last 3 MVPs are all, international. They're both international players, Luka, Giannis. But another fact is when we think about how dominant the USA basketball team used to be, look at the roster that we were talking about. Let's take it back to 08. We're talking about Kobe Bryant, Chris Paul, LeBron James, Dwight Howard, Melo. We are talking about the greatest of the greatest players. Not to say no disrespect to this current team because we still have Dame Lillard, Kevin Durant. But I think the talent levels from 13 years ago from that team to what it is right now is a huge step down, in my opinion. Again, you also said there's no clear leader. Kevin Durant is probably I guess you would call him the leader of this team because he has the most experience.
He should be.
Probably the vet of this team. But I think it's a factor of several things you guys have said, like as the international players, talent becoming better. Abby, your point, the NBA is just a soft league and, they're getting exposed. Shaitan's point, this team is not as good as it was. But I do also hope that USA loses a majority of their next several games or, all of them, just so the NBA sees, something needs to change. There needs to be some type of reform in the way that the coaches ref the game, the way they allow the game to be played, because there's a lot of it needs to be improved. The way we've seen basketball being played in the last 2-3 seasons, we've all had our fair share of complaints about how the way the game is getting coached, the way these players are playing. So yeah, I hope this really opens up eyes for Adam Silver and the rest of the league officials.
One thing before anyone else goes, in 4 hours you're gonna play the next game. The USA team is 40-point favorites against Iran. If they somehow lose this game, Kevin Durant, Tatum, Dame Lillard, whoever is a real star on this team, they should all leave, and this should be the wrap. If you lose to Iran today, 40-point favorites.
Abby, we are not as the USA team is not as dominant as it was.
Who's on Iran? Who the hell is on Iran?
I cannot name you a single team on Team Iran. And USA should win.
If they lose today, they should just pack their bags and go home.
If I'm Kevin Durant, I'm not staying for this mess. Or Dame Lillard. Like, you got to be kidding me. Obviously, it falls on them because they're playing.
I don't blame it on my team. If you're the stars that you think you are, you should blow them out, whether single-handedly or not. You only need a couple star players to win this team.
Yeah, bro, you 40-point favorites, bro. And the games are 40 minutes long, not 48 minutes. 40 minutes long. So that's telling you something.
Yeah, if you're star players and you're Lillard and Kevin Durant and you're 40-point favorites, there's no reason you should lose. If you lose, that's on them.
Jesus Christ. So I don't know if anyone else wants to add anything. Chaitan, go ahead.
I mean, I'm just saying, you mentioned Luka and all these foul issues, but he just lit up Argentina for 48, and he knows how to play international style basketball.
See,
so, like,
the other teams really only have one superstar player. If you really look at it, Nigeria, if Giannis plays for them, he is their one superstar. Argentina with Luke, I mean, who does Luka play for? Slovenia. And then Jokic would play for, I don't even know he's from. Serbia. So he'd be their superstar. And then the Congo would be team, whatever the team Joel Embiid will represent.
Yeah.
That's it. So every one of these teams have one player.
Yeah.
So we have so many. So that's where I disagree with the talent shit.
I mean, if you think about it, Bam Adebayo could technically play for Nigeria.
Okay, fine. Now you have two players. Okay, great. That's great, bro.
But they do have other NBA talents out there. It's just not the level that we're at. And I think the big issue is cohesion. And two, like you said, everyone plays iso ball at this point for Team USA. No one plays team basketball other than Draymond. Let's be honest. It's the Golden State Warriors play team basketball, and they're closest to the Spurs system. So if anyone should be thriving, it should be Draymond. It should be Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant's played in that Golden State system. It's just not working out for them for some reason.
Well, I think that's enough on Team USA. They're playing in like 3.5 hours. I don't think any one of us is gonna be awake for that. But if somehow if our phones blow up in the morning, it's because somehow they lost as 40-point favorites. Simply put. But next thing is, now that, as we know, the offseason is underway. The draft is on Thursday, so I know I'm looking forward to it because my Magic got two. One top 5 pick, one top 8 pick. Chaitan doesn't have any picks because obviously we had the 8th pick. Shvam and Arun and Aminder, Lakers. Do they have a pick this year? I think they do, right?
Oh, Lakers? Yeah, this is the last. I know they just. No, they got a pick this year. Yeah, last year of the picks.
Pick. So
they
maybe
got like the 22nd.
Play. I think the main reason why Thursday is so significant is because of the names that may be traded. Because if you want to make trades for these players, you want capital back, draft capital back. So the draft capital will have to happen by Thursday because you're not going to wait for another year. You want to know what picks you're getting, and you know the picks in the order this year. So it's Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday. I think something may go down. Some big things may go down. The first name is Bradley Beal and Ben Simmons, because the first two names are those two names, because those are the two names that are being thrown out there. Bradley Beal, as the whispers are, he may do it. He may ask for a trade because he wanted Sam Cassell to get a second interview, and they didn't give it to him. So we're seeing this where players want input, and Bradley Beal felt like, yo, I'm the best player, and you didn't even give me input on the head coach. And then you hired whoever, Wes Unseld, whoever you hired. And then Ben Simmons, Chaitan, I think you know the trade offer that they made, and then it got rejected. If you could quickly go over that.
It was VanVleet, Lowry, OG, and the fourth pick.
See, that's just comedy. That is straight comedy. I don't even know how you, as the GM, Daryl Morey can pick up the phone and ask the Raptors for all that, for the player that everyone knows you're trying to get rid of. So, first question here is, Chaitan, where do you think Bradley Beal and Ben Simmons, what teams fit best for them? And what do you take away from these rumors?
Bradley Beal, previously we used to talk about Bradley Beal for someone like Milwaukee, right? That was the last year kind of thing that we were like, hey, he'd be a good fit there next to Giannis. I think the best fit for him would be Dallas, but I don't think Dallas has enough talent to give up to get a guy like Bradley Beal. So maybe you're talking Miami, Philadelphia. You can package if Washington wants to restart, it's a Bradley Beal for Ben Simmons kind of deal. You get a shooter next to Joel Embiid. That would be a perfect fit. And the one team that we're not talking about, and I would say it's not a perfect fit, but I think they can make it work, would be Golden State. So those are the three teams I would look at for Bradley Beal. For Ben Simmons, this asking price is so damn high, and it's funny because you laughed at me for saying, give him Trent, give him OG in the fourth pick for Ben Simmons, right? And then you see Daryl Morey just try to rob him, be like, nope, I want all of this, and you're just like, that doesn't make sense. But for a player that has limited talents, what team really wants to make a deal for him where they might have to mortgage their future? And I don't see that many teams. And it goes back to maybe Minnesota will make the deal. Maybe someone that can't get a superstar level talent, quote in quotations, the superstar in quotes, because Ben Simmons is not there yet. For 4 years, he's signed for 4 years. So whoever wants that level of talent for 4 years, they should go out and make the deal. It should be the small market teams. That's what I see for.
Arun, thoughts on this situation with these two players?
Well, Ben Simmons, that Raptors trade, when I saw that, I just laughed. I didn't even think it was real, to be honest, because that's your asking price for Ben Simmons. Are you serious? If that was your asking price after what you saw, why didn't you trade him during the season? Because you could have got a similar package to that. But Ben Simmons, I really don't know. I'm over here trying to think of a perfect team that he could be on, but I really don't know. Bradley Beal, on the other hand, there's a handful of teams I would love him to see on. Number one, I think the Warriors have what it takes to go get Bradley Beal. They could give up some assets. You could give up James Wiseman and Andrew Wiggins, and they also have 2 first-round picks this year's, the number 7 and number 14. So the Wizards could get some young talent in James Wiseman, and I honestly think James Wiseman is going to be a really good talent because he could shoot, he could protect the rim, and I think even if he stays on the Warriors, I think I think he'll fit perfectly fine. But the Wizards should do this trade just because they get Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman, and you could start your franchise over again with 2 first-round picks in this upcoming draft. But also then you're gonna have to find a home for Russell Westbrook. That could be a little hard because there's no point of rebuilding and having Westbrook on your team. And another player I want to talk about is my boy Brandon Ingram. I've heard he's on the market, and this is just one of the names that's going to pop up. I think it's going to be a crazy offseason. There's going to be names out there that we've never even thought will be out there. But Brandon Ingram, he's gained some interest from the Miami Heat. I will also like to see Bradley Beal on the Miami Heat, but BI or Bradley Beal on Miami Heat, I think that makes a legit contender out east. Just because you have that second scorer, first scorer in Brandon Ingram with Jimmy Butler, and I think that's enough to get it done out east. Is there any other players out there right now? Lillard. Where could Lillard go, guys? It's been rumored that he's gonna come out these next few days and request a trade, and I can see that happening. Is there any team?
I think if any of these big names are getting traded, they're getting traded by Thursday.
Before the draft, I mean?
The day of the draft, before the draft. So either tomorrow or Thursday, because if you're trading Lillard, you want help now.
Do we think the Warriors are going to keep these 2 first-round picks?
No way.
No way, right?
The name that keeps getting thrown out with the Warriors is Pascal Siakam.
Oh, God.
That would be nice.
So the Toronto Raptors do not have a center. So that would be one thing where they could get a center and you trade Siakam. And obviously you'd probably get the 7th pick. You're basically rebuilding. You have Van Vliet, he's solid. You have Gary Trent, he's solid, young player. You have OG, solid player. You get Wiseman, another young player. You trade Siakam. Now you have the 4th pick, another young player, and potentially the 7th pick and the 14th pick. So if you're Masai Ujiri and the Toronto Raptors, listen, Kyle Lowry, you got us a championship with Kawhi. Thank you. You're a Hall of Famer. You're a Toronto Raptor legend. Bye-bye. Go get your money. And now you're replacing him with, to be honest, this is the fastest way to rebuild possible because you got some solid pieces on the team already.
Yeah, you
that's the thing.
Replace him with Jalen Suggs.
Yeah, Jalen Suggs, likely 4th pick overall, point guard from Gonzaga. That would be one way to go with Van Vliet to go forward because Van Vliet's not that old. Jalen Suggs, one and done. So that's another way of thinking about it. But I think, Thursday's going to be crazy. Thursday's going to be crazy. There's a lot of teams out there with a lot of picks. Like the Warriors have multiple picks. The Magic have multiple picks. There are teams like the Raptors who may think they're still in contention mode that could trade their pick. There's rumors that the Detroit Pistons don't want to take Cade Cunningham. They don't want to take the best player. I don't believe in that because he's by far the best prospect right now. So we'll see about that. And obviously the Boston Celtics, there's many teams. The Lakers are trying to do something. Kuzma, you're gone. You're gone. Amir, that jersey should be cut by Thursday. That jersey should be burned by Thursday.
It's never gonna be cut.
It should be burned because he will no longer be a Laker by that time, most likely. They're trying to ship his ass out. They'll trade him for Buddy Hield and whatever they gotta do to get rid of him. The Lakers are trying to improve, and we're gonna get into a player that the Lakers are trying to get. And I think he would be the perfect pick up for them, and it wouldn't really cost them much, in my opinion, especially based off of what he said. But one thing I want to get into is we went over these players in these scenarios. A trade that did happen. The Memphis Grizzlies and the Pelicans. I need to make sense of this. I still haven't. It happened yesterday. I still don't get it. The Memphis Grizzlies traded away. To be honest, as of right now, their best John Moran is their best player, but their best offensive player right now was Jonas Valančiūnas. You traded him away for Steven Adams, who is nowhere near the offensive player that he is.
Yep.
And basically what you did was you got a worse player, all respect to Steven Adams, Aquaman himself, but a lesser player just so you can go from the 17th pick to the 10th pick. And you got Eric Bledsoe, the biggest cancer
in
the NBA. As soon as
Eric Bledsoe.
You know you ain't doing shit. As soon as he's on your team, just know it's over. It's a wrap. So I hope they trade him. So you basically traded away your best player offensively for the 10th pick overall. I have no idea what Memphis is doing. Arun,
Yo,
China.
shout out to the Pelicans because they just got rid of 2 shitty ass contracts, man. As Steven Adams, great player when he was on OKC, but last year he was absolutely hot garbage on my Pelicans. Well,
Wait.
my Pelicans. But
Yeah, Pelicans,
Eric
you're
Bledsoe
playing
and
them.
Steven Adams getting paid 34.9 mil and 37.4 mil respectively. That is a shitload of money. And I'm happy the Pelicans are off the books. And also the Pelicans 100% won this trade, no doubt about it. They got Jonas, and I think he's a perfect fit with Zion in that backcourt. And
They still have the 17th pick too, and they got rid of Bledsoe's contract.
now I think
Yeah,
Lonzo's on the move.
20 mil on top.
I think Lonzo's gonna be on the move, and I think the Pelicans have. I think the Pelicans really believe in these 2 upcoming guards, Alexander Walker and Kyra Lewis Jr. I seen both of these guys play last year when Lonzo was out, and Kyra Lewis Jr. That dude can hoop. So they're not gonna miss Eric Bledsoe at all. They still have Josh Hart, so let's see what happens with him. But Eric Bledsoe, he's off the books. I don't understand. I really don't understand why Grizzlies even want Eric Bledsoe. They already have what's his name? Who's playing the 2 spot? Dylan Brooks playing the 2 spot. You have Kyle Anderson.
You have DeAndre Melton. You have Anthony Melton. You have
so you
guards.
have some decent guards,
Ballers on
and
that
now
team.
you're just tied up in this hefty contract with Eric Bledsoe and Steven Adams.
Shavam looks like he wants to say something. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, Pelicans clearly won this trade. Valančiūnas is a great fit. He spreads out the floor for Zion because Zion, he's an interior scorer. Valančiūnas spreads out the floor a little more than Steven Adams would. But the main thing is like Arun said, the contract's freeing up. They have a little more money now. There were reports that if they let Lonzo go and if they let Josh Hart go, they might be able to go after a bigger name like Kyle Lowry. We know that the Raptors do want to get Raptors, are willing. If I'm the Raptors, I'm willing to trade Lowry for the right thing. I don't know what Pelicans would offer up, but Pelicans hands down won this. They got they got a phenomenal big man, and they have this extra cap space now. Who they go after, what free agent they go after, they can go after who's a free agent this year.
Man, the Pelicans better be careful because there's already rumblings of Zion being unhappy with this organization.
I think
this organization could be a dumpster fire if they don't play their cards right.
Oh wait, yeah. I have a question. This question is for Arun. Do you think that they made this move, the Pelicans, so that way they can now keep Lonzo?
That could be because Lonzo's gonna be. He's not gonna get the max, but he's gonna be get paid a good lump sum,
But there is one reason why I don't think Lonzo's staying now, and that is because we got the news over the weekend that some team picked up the second Ball brother.
Yeah,
and now
the Hornets. Yeah.
There's two Ball brothers on one team. So
let's see what happens.
I think the Hornets now. Hey, you got Terry Rozier. You got Devontae Graham.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think everyone keeps talking about it. All three of them. Everything LeVar Ball is saying basically keeps happening. So
I can't believe this has happened. Like 2-3 years ago, LeVar was on ESPN talking about I could beat Michael Jordan 1-on-1, and now Michael Jordan is literally the owner of his son's team.
Michael Jordan paying
calling the shots.
Michael Jordan paying the 3 kids.
He paying LiAngelo Ball. How crazy is this? Wait, is it like on the team officially?
He's on the summer league roster, so if he performs well in summer league, then they will add him.
Oh my God!
I promise you this much: if Lonzo Ball, and I'm pretty sure now it's a done deal, Lonzo Ball is going to go to the Hornets. There's no way he's going to go to the Hornets, and then that way, I think they'll keep LiAngelo, even if it's like a bench spot. But regardless, all 3 on the same team already. That's just beautiful, man. To be honest, LeVar Ball, bro, you can say what you want about him. I'm a clap for him. What a father. He got all 3 boys potentially on the same team. They all gonna get paid.
I can't believe you saying this, Avishek. I can't believe out of all the people you're high on the Ball family. I mean, I'm a Ball family guy.
Listen, man, Lonzo Ball, he keep getting better. LaMelo,
yes.
So I'm pretty sure you have to get rid of Terry Rozier. You have to get rid of I think Devontae. I think one of them got to go then.
Yeah, one of the 2 guards has to go.
Yeah, and you still have what's it called? You still have Miles Bridges. You still have
Gordon Hayward.
PJ Washington.
PJ Washington, and then
Great
you still
pick.
have your. I think they have their pick. They made the playoff. They made the play-in game this year, so they don't have a high pick. But still, that would be fun
Yeah.
to watch. They are going to sell tickets bare minimum.
The Hornets coming back to life after that Kemba trade. It's crazy what one player could do, man. And LaMelo. Can we agree that this man literally like saved a dying franchise?
Yep.
A 19-year-old kid.
Yep.
That's crazy, man.
I thought
That's
he'd
what-
be good. I didn't think he'd be this good already.
His feel is crazy, man. I'm excited to see what year 2 has in store.
Shaitan, do you have anything to add on that trade?
I mean, the trade itself is, what the hell were the Grizzlies thinking?
It's all for the pick. I think they love somebody at 10, and that's where they did it.
And
They love somebody at 10.
the
I don't know
only
who that
person,
is, but
the only person that I can see fit the Memphis mold, it's our guy, Davion Mitchell. It's the
But
only
they got too many guards, bro. They have
I
too many
know.
guards.
That's the thing, though. That's why I'm like, who can they be in love with that bad that they trade up to 10? Because we know top 3 is going to be Cunningham, Mobley, and Green. And then Kuminga is going to go at least 5.
Yeah, we don't need to speculate because it's going to be after the top 3. You're just playing craps at that point. There's trades involved. There's who likes what. You never know. There's steals. There's reaches, etc., etc.
Exactly.
But-
So I have no idea who they'd be in love with that bad at 10. So like that's the whole thing that's confusing me. Is like, great, unless I also don't see what they can do because Valančiūnas more than anything was an insurance policy on Jaren Jackson Jr. who
I think he's
Barely
a free agent
played.
also.
what was that?
I think he's a free agent, restricted free agent, maybe. Could be wrong.
I'm not sure. I mean, this is what his
There's only 2 players on the Memphis Grizzlies that have proven anything. That's John Morant and Dylan Brooks. That's
Yeah.
it. Nobody else has done anything. Valančiūnas was the guy that did something, but now he's gone. And you got Steven Adams. Listen, man, we all love Aquaman. We love what he represents. Tough guy, nicest guy, best teammate. But offensively, you just went down a lot.
Yeah, and you're giving up one of the best rebounders in the league.
Yup.
Like, no one was. I watched some of those Grizzlies games. No one was grabbing rebounds other than Valančiūnas. The man was 20-20 most of the time.
Okay, now I want to take one more turn. This is going to be a turn out west. I want to start off with Aminder, then I want to go to Shivam. And Arun, you save yours for last because this is very dear and near to your heart. Aminder, DeMar DeRozan. When I say those 2 words to the Lakers,
Yes.
how do you feel, my friend?
Perfect. That's it.
That's it?
It's
Why
perfect.
do you feel that would be a perfect mesh?
Because that's literally what we need. We need shooters. He could shoot and he could drive in. He could do both. We have AD in the paint, and you got LeBron always laying it up and then doing his 3, But with them 3 all together, I think it would be a perfect fit for him as well. He even said, he's like, I think he made a comment earlier today. He's like, he's been fortunate enough to make a lot of money, but at this point, the ultimate goal is to compete for the championship.
Yup.
And where can he do that? The LA Lakers. Trade Kuzma, KCP, give some NBA draft picks, whatever, And then, like Arun said it earlier, like a few podcasts ago, I guess you could say, he's like, they can always try to get Kyle Lowry as well because he's a free agent as well. And then, that'd be even better for them.
Shivam,
You never know.
DeMar DeRozan, LeBron James, Anthony Davis. How does that sound, my friend?
Compton's very own. He's coming to Los Angeles, and y'all forget AD was out for a couple months, and you guys are forgetting how phenomenal this guy is. Even forget about what's it called, DeRozan right now. If the Lakers were healthy this year, they probably would have won the ring. Now you're adding DeRozan. What Arun and me have been emphasizing: shooters. We don't need a point guard. We don't need nothing. We just need scoring. That's the main thing. And who better than DeRozan? I heard Kyle Lowry might want to come too, but that I don't really believe in that because just Lakers claim that they're going to get all these players. So I never believe these other sources. But yeah, that interview with DeRozan, he made it very clear that he's not after money.
Money. Yeah.
Lakers don't have that to offer.
Yeah.
He knows. So for him to say that, I just, it seems like he already know, he already has his mind made up on where he wants to go. And most players always want to go home. And not only will going home make him feel better, he knows he can win a chip there because Lakers will probably be the favorites. Maybe not the favorites, but at least in the West, they will definitely be the favorites. And I like that starting three. That's
Time before everyone goes, your thoughts.
And this is where it gets difficult for me. I'm not being biased here. I think DeMar DeRozan would be excellent with those two guys, but where it comes that is DeMar DeRozan's skill set a necessity for the Lakers?
Yes, a guy that can give him the ball when LeBron sits down, go get the bucket.
Yeah, but the one thing we've been complaining about in the last 2 years about the Lakers, and it showed up mightily this year, is 3-point shooting. And that is not DeMar DeRozan's strong suit, right? And if, say, Dennis Schroeder is not on this team next year, they need a point guard.
LeBron James.
But yes, I understand LeBron's a point guard, but at some points he's better off being at his normal forward position and having someone else bring the ball up. So I would personally, if I was the Lakers, I would be more pursuant on, hey, if Van Fleet is available, go get him because
Van Fleet,
that is no chance of getting
red. That is
DeRozan will
luxury tax hell, my boy.
Yeah, DeRozan will still get you 6 to 7 assists a game. He might
Please
not
tell me, Chaitan, I love you.
Listen,
I love you.
let me go.
Basketball analysis. Tell me what the fuck the Lakers have to offer for Van Fleet, bro.
Yeah. So, hey, they've been offering the same package to everyone.
Exactly.
Might as well try it.
Exactly. So let's put it this way.
I'd rather trade for Benson than trade for Kuzma.
I'm gonna throw this out to Shivam because I want to throw this out to Shivam, Aminder, and all four of you. Because Chaitan has been the shooting. Who would you rather have? And you're offering the same package for them. Would you rather have DeMar DeRozan or Buddy Hield?
I mean, DeRozan's a free agent.
Yeah.
No. Let's say you have to give rid of the same thing. The same thing you have to get rid of. You can only get one though. Who would you rather have?
For the Lakers fit, I would take Buddy Hield.
Buddy Hield.
Buddy Hield is a crazy shooter, bro.
Really?
That man.
DeMar DeRozan?
Abhishek. Last season, what did you preach all season? Shooting.
But I understand that. I completely agree.
Abhishek, you were on record saying, Arun, you have one elite shooter on that team, and that's a championship team. And that elite shooter is Buddy Hield. You don't?
I agree. But DeMar DeRozan is the second best mid-range scorer in the game behind Kevin Durant.
DeMar DeRozan will fit. That's the beauty. You put Spencer Dinwiddie in that 2 spot. There's so many players out there the Lakers could go get, and they're gonna strive. DeMar DeRozan, he will be an amazing fit. And if DeMar's coming, Kyle Lowry's gonna be coming as well because that's his boy. DeMar DeRozan, Compton native, went to USC. He's coming back home.
Well, Kyle Lowry said he wants 3 years, $100 million.
Okay, then he could go kick rocks. And
I don't know if
we could go get Lonzo. It's like but like I said, mid-range shots in the playoffs is very crucial. If you have a player who can knock down mid-range shot after mid-range shot in the playoffs, you are bound to win games. And the Lakers gonna have AD and DeRozan. And one thing I want to know. Point guard. I know Chaitan just said DeMar DeRozan. If they get DeMar DeRozan, they're not gonna have a shooting. Well, you have to go trade that Kuzma contract, and you could go trade KCP. You have to go get some knockdown shooters. There's a lot of shooters out there, plethora of shooters. If you ask me, number 1 on my list, Buddy Hield. He's definitely for sale. I think the Kings are gonna go.
Yeah, I'm looking.
JJ Redick's a free agent. There's a plethora of great shooters, man, and the Lakers just have to go out there and get it. But also I want to point out DeMar DeRozan last year. his playmaking was pretty good. He's actually a very underrated passer. Last year, he averaged the most assists he has ever averaged throughout his career, about 7 assists last year per game. So he's not a bad option if you want to play off ball, off LeBron. And
All I'm gonna say is this Lakers team, besides 2 players, is going to be very, very, very different. LeBron James, constant, consistent. Anthony Davis, constant, consistent. KCP, I hope they can keep him because he is probably their best shooter right now.
Right now, yeah.
But every single player on that roster, besides those 3, their bags should be packed for any moment between now and training camp because they could be shipped out at any moment. Montrezl Harrell, Kyle Kuzma, bro, you should already be at the airport, bro. Just waiting for your ticket to be booked. Like wherever you going to Detroit, you going to Minnesota, you going to I don't even know where San Antonio, wherever you're gone, you're so gone.
Alex
So,
Caruso, all these guys could go, man.
Whoever your agent is telling you that you think you could get $150 million, that agent ain't looking out for you. He looking out for himself.
Wait, who's agent?
Dennis Schroeder.
Oh yeah, nah, his agent definitely looking out for himself, 100%, dude.
Yeah,
Trying to get a cut of that.
Abby, the reason Arun and I both said Buddy Hield is a better fit is I'm looking at his 3-point percentages over the last.
Okay, let me throw it out this way.
Bro,
God
he's
forbid.
on the.
God forbid, we know LeBron James has been getting injured recently. 2 out of 3 years, he's been hurt. Anthony Davis always misses games. Knock on wood, I'm not saying anything bad about them. I'm just saying this is what happens. If one of them are out for a period of time, if DeMar DeRozan's on your team, he can carry you.
Okay, if that's the
carry
case,
you.
Yeah. I think we have the image of Buddy Hield being a 3-point shooter.
That's what he is.
As the only thing.
That's all he can do.
No, that is Luke Walton's fault.
Oh, really? Okay.
That is 100% on Luke Walton.
Yeah,
really,
let's blame Luke Walton.
Fox,
I like that.
De'Aaron Fox had a career year.
Yo, get De'Aaron
De'Aaron
Fox.
Fox
There's so much talent on that team.
Yeah,
Oh my
no,
God.
you look at all the talent on the Sacramento
Marvin Bagley.
Kings. They got nowhere because of their head coach.
And how is he? How does he still have a job?
Yeah, the last 3.
I'ma chill out.
Okay,
His last name.
yeah. Before Luke Walton showed up, Hield was scoring 20 points a game, and then, I think Luke Walton was just like, "Yo, why are you taking too many threes?" Remember, I think he hit a game-tying 3 from like 30 feet out, and the coach is like, "Yo, what the hell are you doing? Like you weren't supposed to take that shot."
Double-digit threes per game.
Dude,
I would love that. On the Lakers, I would love that.
Yeah, he's taking 10 threes a game. He's making at least 4, and sometimes he will go 6 for 13, 6 for 10. And he's just lethal from 3, and he can score with the best of them. I just don't think Luke Walton's put him in that position.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest takeaway from here is a lot of players are going to be moving real quick.
Yep.
And also, one more thing, this news came out, was Kawhi Leonard apparently is staying. That was it wasn't shocking, but to think it's not official, but it looks like once the free agent period starts, he'll probably opt in, which is next week, actually, August 2nd. So free agency is right there. It's coming up.
Opting in.
Opting in, yeah. Actually, I think he may sign it. I don't know. I didn't know the exact specifics, but that was mentioned where it said the headline was Kawhi Leonard likely staying in LA. So
it's likely he opts out and gets a 5-year deal.
Probably. That's probably what he would want, and that's probably what Steve Ballmer would want. Lock him up for 5 years instead of swaying it for a year or not. But
I mean, he's not playing next year.
Yeah, he's not playing next year. There's no way.
So
He's out a year with a quad strain, bro.
At least you secure your money, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Secure the bag. Especially with your injury history. You think he doesn't know how often he gets hurt? But
yeah, he's probably saying like, shit, they still gonna pay me $200 million? All right.
That's besides the point. I think we had a great preview right now going of a lot of moves that may be made. A lot of moves will be made. And I think August 2nd is when free agency starts. That's next week. Draft is Thursday. A lot of teams' fortunes will change. As we know, the Milwaukee Bucks, they drafted Giannis. Nobody knew who the hell Giannis Antetokounmpo was. And now he is a top 3 player in the NBA and a champion and brought Milwaukee a championship 50 years later. So, as you know, the draft is the most important way for you to get better quickly. And that's what you got to do. Develop your talent. And there's teams out there, Golden State, they got 2 picks. You know they're gonna do something. They're gonna do something. The Lakers got a pick. They're trying to trade, they're trying to make moves. LeBron James ain't getting any younger. And you got obviously the number 1 pick, Detroit. They gotta get better. It hasn't been good in Detroit for a long time since they beat Shaq and Kobe. And yeah.
All right, guys, that wraps it up for this one. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.